This is SportsCenter.
I'm John Ryder. The Vikings have decided to let go GM Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah after 4 years. Minnesota went 9-8 this season, missing the playoffs. They did finish the season on a 5-game winning streak. Vikings owner and team president Mark Wilf on the firing of their GM.
The most important thing was getting this decision right. And like I said, we like to be methodical about all this. And we had our season-long, season-ending meetings and really took a deep dive look at not just any one thing, but over the past few years. And so we wanted to make sure we got the decision right. We talked to all the stakeholders, all the people involved in our football operations, and we really came to this decision in a methodical way. And that's the way we went about it, because this is about our long-term success.
Wilf also said that Vikings VP of Football Operations Rob Brzezinski will run the team through this year's draft. The NFL will discuss using video review to assess penalties for player safety-related violations that are missed by officials. To golf, in second round of the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines, Justin Rose has the lead at 14 under, 3 ahead of Seamus Power.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Monday, Drake May and Sam Darnold will get all the headlines, but I'll tell you which players will decide the Super Bowl. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Off and running, welcome in. After further review here on a Friday, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Musso in for Moscona. We got Jordan Kitchens hanging out. We got Paul O'Neill hanging out, and we're very happy to have all of you hanging out with us here as well as we get you set to roll into the weekend here as we wind down in January. January always feels like it takes like 4 months, and this has been no different. It's like it's the worst month of the year, if we're being honest. But hey, it's almost Jordan. You're nodding over there. You feeling January, my guy?
No, I agree with you that January is always so long.
It's horrible.
And this is one of the first years where I looked up, where I blinked, and January's over.
Oh, that's incredible. So I cannot relate to that. It feels like it's been January for about 5 years. So we're winding you down. Next time you're back here, it'll be February with all of us. So fired up, man. We got a great show planned out here today. I'm going to talk some LSU baseball. I got 3 different baseball segments planned out. I mean, you better believe we're 14 days out. I have a microphone. I am funneling you LSU baseball content, and I really cannot wait to do so. Mock drafts, obviously, coming out now. The Senior Bowl practices have winded down. The game is Saturday, so we'll run through some of that. Really want to take a look at the LSU receiver room as well. A piece from ESPN kind of jump-started that in my head. So we have a ton to get to. We're going to get through all of it here over the next 3 hours. Let's start as we do here every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
But we'll start kind of with the news of the day surrounding LSU and Lane Kiffin's staff, and that involves, once again, Charlie Weis Jr. You'll remember, may have been last week, the report came out that the Philadelphia Eagles and Charlie Weis had met to discuss the vacant offensive coordinator spot on Nick Sirianni's staff, and Charlie Weis, opted to stay in Baton Rouge, stay with Lane Kiffin. But you might recall, at the beginning of January, the first NFL team that showed interest in Charlie Weis Jr., and that was the New York Giants. And this was all the way back in Week 18. Okay, obviously, look, they had long since fired Brian Daboll. It looked, at that point, you knew, okay, John Harbaugh is going to be the apple of their eye. And they got that done about a week later or so, after the first week of the playoffs. So I guess 2 weeks later, you would call that there. And it goes to fill in an offensive coordinator. And during Week 18, Jordan Renan, who covers the Giants for ESPN, he's their NFL Nation reporter for the New York Giants, had already floated out the idea of Charlie Weis Jr. joining the New York Giants staff. This is Week 18 of the NFL season. So first week in January. And it kind of goes quiet after that. All the focus shifts to John Harbaugh. They've hired him, or have they? It's agreed in principle, but they're working through a few things to the deal, and then finally they get that across the finish line. And by that point, really, Weis and the Eagles is what was in the forefront of everybody's mind. Well, let's go back to last night, shall we? Thursday evening, Connor Hughes works for SNY up there, covers the Giants and the Jets, things of that nature. Thursday night, he has a report that Charlie Weis Jr.'s name has continued to circulate around the Giants, and that Jackson Dart is pushing hard for John Harbaugh and his staff to bring aboard Charlie Weis as the offensive coordinator. And look, that makes a lot of sense as to why. Dart spent multiple years in Oxford with Charlie Weis, with Lane Kiffin, in that offense, with Weis calling the plays. He was the SEC's leading passer. They helped mold him into a first-round pick. He's very, very comfortable. It would make sense that he would stump for his guy. Remember, there was the odds and some of the stories that maybe the Giants should take a look at Lane Kiffin for their head coaching job. And they fired Brian Daboll so early. You could have your pick of the litter. You could have anybody that you wanted. And then Lane had the funny thing with Dart's family in a group chat about, it's too cold up there. And that really, nothing ever really became of that in something serious. But Dart says, we miss on Lane. Let's try again with Charlie Weis Jr. And then comes the final point of this story earlier today, this time again from Jordan Renan, that Jackson Dart showed a lot of support, pushed for his guy, but the expectations now are that Charlie Weis Jr. plans to remain in Baton Rouge and coach LSU and be the offensive coordinator for the Tigers on Lane Kiffin's inaugural staff. Look, that's a good thing. And it's a 3-year, $7.5 million deal. Remember, LSU added the $500K extra when maybe Weis was considering going back to Ole Miss, staying with Ole Miss. He was back there at the playoff run, to have him reconsider and come and follow Lane Kiffin. So he's got a great contract. But it is worth noting, as we have with any time his name has come up with something else, if it were for an NFL job or a college head coaching job, he'd be let out of his LSU contract free and clear, no buyout, any of that nature. So if he wanted to take this position, he could have, but he'll remain. And I think it's huge for LSU. Maybe not for the reason that many think. For me, it's all about the staff continuity. I'm after the highest efficiency that the LSU offense can perform with in 2026. If Charlie Weis were to leave, if he, hypothetically, let's say he took this Giants job, the LSU offense would still function very well. Lane Kiffin goes somewhere, offense follows. He's the mastermind behind all of it, right? We understand that. I'm not trying to discount Charlie Weis's involvement, his input, his role in this at all. He's a key cog in it. It's why Lane Kiffin wanted him here in Baton Rouge to begin with, when he could have stayed at Ole Miss. Here's a little extra dough. Maybe, come on, we need you here still. He wants him here. So I'm not going to minimize that at all. I'm just saying, what you're seeing right now is there's going to come a time, probably in the near future, that Charlie Weis isn't at LSU. And it's probably going to be for a higher level job, whether that's in the NFL or a head coaching job in college. Like, that is a reality that this offseason has shown us that we need to prepare ourselves for, if we have not already. And when that time comes, it'll be okay. Lane Kiffin will get his next guy, or maybe he'll start calling plays again or whatnot. You'll approach that bridge when you get to it. The point there is, your offense is going to be awesome as long as Lane Kiffin is here. But I'll go back to what I said kind of right at the beginning of why I think it's big, is for the continuity and the efficiency that this allows LSU's offense to operate in. I think it's the highest efficiency level. Again, Lane wanted him here. there's a reason for that. You got the entire offensive staff from Ole Miss minus the offensive line coach. You went and got Eric Walford from Kentucky. But that's a lot of guys who are all on the same page. And when you're bringing in as many transfers as LSU is on the offensive side of the ball, 3 quarterbacks, 9 wide receivers, what was it? 4 or 5 running backs. No, 3 running backs, 5 total with Barry and Durham returning. And then the plethora of offensive linemen you brought in as well. You have all those guys learning a new system for the first time. I want everybody on that offensive staff that you brought here with you to be here to help. They're all on the same page. They can get that message through. And I think that ultimately is what helps you operate at your highest efficiency if you're the LSU offense in 2026. So this is great. Will it last forever? No. Will it be okay when it inevitably ends? Yes. But going into the first year, I would prefer to keep everyone together, and it looks like LSU is going to be able to do that. I should note, Jordan Renan did note in his report that things can obviously change with this, but it certainly seems like Charlie Weis will remain in Baton Rouge, and that's a very, very good thing for the LSU Tigers and Lane Kiffin and the offense. Hopefully that's the last time we have to talk about it. If not, well, we'll be right here giving you the latest. We're going to grab a break. We're going to come back on the other side, continue with some LSU football, and I want to talk a little bit about the top 100 transfer list that was released today by ESPN because it got me thinking about one group in particular with LSU. We'll dive into that next here on AFR.
AFR.
Let's Rev, R-E-V, letsrev.com, letsrev.com. You ever just get super frustrated at super slow internet? Oh, we've all been there, man. The little spinning wheel, slamming your keyboard or your mouse, pounding the desk because it's so frustrating. Your internet's so slow. Storm comes, knocks the power out, knocks the internet out, knocks the cable out. You're so frustrated. Maybe that's just me because I get kind of angry about things. But it's annoying. Nobody wants that to happen. Rev can help. They're local and 5 gigs, lightning fast speeds, and backed by an all-fiber network. Fiber. It's buried under the ground. I mean, you don't have to worry about a storm coming knocking the power lines down. Let's Rev. Listen, more than 70,000 Louisiana homeowners and business owners trust Rev. You should as well. REV. 90 years of local experience. LetsRev.com. LetsRev.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted?
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. You know, when we talk about Relief Windows every day, I always say windows, doors, siding. And now shutters as well. They do your indoor shutters. Same thing as the windows. Custom made, measured to fit your windows, custom fit for your windows, lifetime warranty on your windows, your shutters. But Brandon, you often hear say their number one product is customer satisfaction. And that's not just a catchy line. That's not a cliche phrase. Have an experience with Relief Windows and you'll understand. They go to the ends of the earth to make sure their customers are thrilled with the work they do. As a matter of fact, Relief Windows never takes a dollar from you. You will not, no deposit, no down payment. They take all the risk. They will not take a dollar until you're thrilled with the work they do. Who else does that? Only Relief Windows. Check them out online at ReliefWindows.com.
All right, back here after further review on a Friday, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Glad to have you along for the ride. Musso in for Moscona. Scone, just a quick trip out of the office here today. He will be back on Monday. Of course, then he's going to be going again on Tuesday, traveling to Super Bowl. But I've got... Sorry, the mic doesn't want to stay still. That's...
Would you say it needs some good wood?
It needs something, yeah. It needs to just stay put. All right. I'm just going to hold it. This is ridiculous. Anyway, I don't even know what I was doing now. That completely threw me off.
No, we were talking about the top 100 transfer portal targets.
Thank you, Jordan. Yes. All right. ESPN today, they released their top 100 transfers in college football. And as you might expect, LSU had plenty of guys on the list. When you bring in 41 transfers and you're paying them what you're paying them, and you got a guy like Lane Kiffin who really hones in on scouting, player development, Billy Glasscock, all those guys, what they can do, you figure you're going to have a lot. In fact, LSU had eight of the top 100, 3 in the top 10. You could probably guess those 3. It's the usual suspects. You look at Sam Levitt, he was 3rd on this list. Jordan Seaton right behind him at 4. And Princewill Uman-Mielen was actually number 6 on this list. Those were your 3 in the top 10. And again, you expect that. I think maybe the other guy you expected to be pretty high would have been Ty Benefield, and he was 34th. You might go 34th. Well, he was also the number 2 safety, according to ESPN as well. So right in lockstep with where, On3, 247 Sports, all those services had him as well. But you go further down the list, and that's where this starts to get intriguing. I should note Jordan Ross, the edge defender from Tennessee, was also on the list at number 71. And the remaining guys were wide receivers for LSU. Jace Brown checked in at number 70. Of course, Jace Brown, the transfer from Kansas State, playmaker, 3 years there, suffered an injury late in the season here. Otherwise, he would have gone over 1,000 yards. He'll be ready for spring and all of those things. We had a gentleman on the show. Forgive me, I can't remember his name. But he covered Kansas State, and he came to talk some Jace Brown. And he said, First words out of his mouth were explosive playmaker and a guy who Kansas State went to when they needed a big play. So you're bringing him in, again, 70th overall transfer according to ESPN. Winnie Watkins from Ole Miss checked in at 78. That one surprised me a tad just because his playing time at Ole Miss wasn't as robust here in his freshman year. I mean, he had some really nice moments. He had almost 400 yards receiving off of less than 30 receptions. So, I mean, you see the big play ability there. That maybe that's what you're looking for. But I don't know, when you just looked at some of the experience that was in this transfer portal class at the wide receiver position, that surprised me a little bit to see him there. But, hey, that's great for LSU. And then the other name that I assume many of you would expect to see here is Trey Wilson from the University of Florida. He was 82nd on this list. I mean, that guy, look, man, when he's been healthy, he has been dynamic. Catching passes, and especially the run after the catch. And that's something you really saw with this wide receiver class in total, is the yards per catch average was massive for many of these guys, whether it's Jackson Harris, Trey Brown, all of Tyree Holloway, all big yard after catch, big average catch reception guy there. It's kind of just a hallmark. But it got me thinking, looking at this and saying, it kind of became a running joke with LSU just adding transfer wide receiver after transfer wide receiver after transfer wide receiver. But it was necessary. But now you sit back and you look and you go, you have 13 scholarship wide receivers on this team for 2026. How do you structure this room? And I'm not sitting here and trying to, tell you this guy's going to start. This is your rotation on January 30th. We have to get through spring ball. The basis of this is to lay out why I believe, outside of the obvious, how does Sam Leavitt look? Come fall camps, he's going to miss spring. So you're really looking at, okay, Houston Longstreet and Landon Clark getting the bulk of those reps. What does the quarterback position look like? Obviously, you're going to be, heavy viewing the offensive line. But outside of that, wide receiver is the most intriguing position, I think, for LSU this spring, just because you have so many guys, and not only so many guys who are capable of contributing. And how do you really, find the spot for everybody? And there's two answers to that. Number one is, in Lane Kiffin's offense, it's fairly easy for him to do that because he just spreads the football out. How's this for a stat? Lane Kiffin was in Oxford at Ole Miss for 6 seasons. 4 times. So 4 out of his 6 years. He had at least 3 wide receivers, not a tight end, not a running back, 3 wide receivers with 40 or more receptions on the year. A season ago in 2025, there was 4 of them. You look at Ole Miss last year, and you had 6 pass catchers. This is where you can factor in a tight end in Daquan Wright. You had 6 pass catchers with 370 or more yards. Really rounded up to 400 if you want to. Winnie Watkins was the guy at 373. They spread the ball around. You also expect for Harlem Berry to probably get a few more touches out of the backfield in the passing game this year. That's a big part of his game that he didn't have. That might take a few away. But what you're really looking for is maybe 6 guys, 5 wide receivers total to step up and immediately contribute. And I think on paper, if you're looking at who that could be, not saying it's going to be these guys, but I mean, Jace Brown makes a lot of sense. It's a 3-year starter in Power 4 football. And as we just stated, a guy who, a Kansas State beat writer himself said that's the guy they went to when they needed to play. And if not for the injury, he was a 1,000-yard guy easy in 2025. He's a proven playmaker, right? At the Power 4 level. Trey Wilson, that's another guy there, man. Proven playmaker. The problem with him is, can he stay healthy? If he does, well, you have a crazy weapon out on the outside who absolutely is a guy you look at and go, yeah, 40 receptions, probably easily for him. And you've still got 3 spots. And look at everybody else you could possibly have. We mentioned Jackson Harris. He put up monster numbers at Hawaii. But I tell you what's going to be really interesting is a guy like Winnie Watkins, because he already knows the system. You would feel like he has a little bit of a leg up. Obviously, as we said, the big playability is there. Just looking at his numbers this season, go less than 30 catches and almost 400 yards. Like, hello. Corey Barber. That's someone that's going to be fascinating. Because, man, it's a 5-star who's coming in, who is committed to Lane Kiffin. That's a player they obviously like a whole lot. But when you look at the freshmen that you're going to have in this group, you look at Barber, you could Jabari Mack out of Destrehan, Braden Allen from LCA, and then I'd throw Philip Wright in there too. Philip Wright gets a redshirt year. Philip Wright had 1 reception this year at LSU. Those are all immensely talented guys to go along with the other, I don't know, call it 6 transfers we didn't mention so far in this. You have so many options just at the wide receiver position. And then, oh, by the way, Trey'Dez Green. It's going to be fascinating to watch them work with this room, work with the pass catchers throughout spring, summer, fall, and then when you get in the regular season, because the amount of weapons that you have is crazy. The other reason, I said there was 2 reasons, and one of them was Lane Kiffin's offense. The other reason this is going to be so intriguing to watch this group come spring practice is the amount of guys that have multiple years of eligibility. You realize Jace Brown's the only wide receiver on LSU's team right now that doesn't have multiple years of eligibility? The other 8 transfers do, and obviously your freshman and a guy like Philip Wright does. Okay, why is that interesting, Musso? Most of those guys are probably going to leave if they don't get playing time. That's today's age of college football. You know what? You're not wrong. But I'll tell you why I think it's interesting is because the one thing they set out to do that looks clear with bringing in that many multi-year guys is they're trying to create competition. And when you have this crowded of a room, that's the best remedy for it, is competition through spring, through summer, through fall, where you can really whittle this down, see which guys are going to be there, and know who you have going in. Because I look at this and I go, man, you'd be hard-pressed to find a player, no matter how experienced they are or not, in this list of receivers that isn't capable of contributing in Lane Kiffin's offense year one. And you know what? That's what the competition will figure out. And if you're not, well, you have multiple years of eligibility. You see what's going to happen with these other guys. And it's not to say some of them are juniors, so they have 2 years left. They might enter the draft and whatnot. You're going to have turnover again at the position. But you've built so much depth and such a great foundation that's going to be built on competition that it's really exciting to already, again, here, not even with the calendar turned to February yet, be talking about what you might see from this group in spring practice. It is, without question, one of the most intriguing positions to keep an eye on as this year and offseason progresses, right up until when LSU will open the season against the Clemson Tigers. I'm fascinated to watch it. I hope all of you are too, and we'll have you covered wall-to-wall with it, obviously here on AFR. Exciting times dealing with the LSU offense and skill guys in Lane Kiffin. You knew what you were signing up for. Portal, offense, fireworks, tweets. You've gotten it all so far here in a little over 2 months of Lane having the job. All right, we're going to grab a break. Come back on the other side. We'll go around the SEC. Cruising through here, man, on hour number 1. We'll go around the SEC. Still got plenty of LSU baseball content to talk here. That pretty much exhausts our LSU football content here for today. So plenty of baseball coming. Stick around for that, and we'll be back shortly on AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Yes, hormone replacement therapy. Yes, NAD+. Yes, BPC 157. Yes, ED treatment. The bottom line is, gentlemen, I don't care how old you are. It's about how old you feel, and do you want to feel like you did when you were younger? Do you want to live a more vital life? Do you want to live a more energetic life where you wake up in the morning, your feet hit the floor, and you're rip-roaring ready to go? Where you're motivated to get in the gym, where you have a great libido, where you have great mindset, energy, mental clarity, memory, all that sort of stuff. It's possible. It's affordable. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help you do it. Hormone replacement therapy could be a giant part of that for you. NAD Plus can literally help your cellular optimization to make you younger at a cellular level. BPC 157, tremendous in helping in recovery. Learn more. YourGoodwood.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit YourGoodwood.com.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned by showing up, putting in the work, the hours that nobody sees. I didn't get here on my own. I trust my coaches to lead, my teammates to step up, and when the game is on the line, Our Lady of the Lake to keep me healthy and on the court. Because it takes a champion to care for a champion. I trust the Lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Again, you can log on to firstsouthland.com. We're nearing the end of the year. Maybe you're thinking about that tax write-off. You're buying timber property, recreational timber property could be a great opportunity for a tax strategy. Talk to your CPA to see if that's something that might make sense. Or maybe right now you're in hunting season and you're tired of sharing that lease. This is a good time to call our friends over at First South Farm Credit to start that process toward owning your own land. It's First South Farm Credit. Go to firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. Land's a finite resource, y'all. It ain't never going down in value and they ain't making more of it. So you want to get your own. First South Farm Credit can help. firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com.
All right, back here after further review on a Friday, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Musso in for Moscona. We're going go around the SEC here in a quick second. And coming up, I did Senior Bowl practices obviously wrapped yesterday. Man, we had a lot of great content on the show this week. Senior Bowl, obviously with off the bench, heading down there and being there for 4 days. Obviously, we checked in with Sean Fazan, with Ross Jackson, again, then with Matt Flynn from OTB, just giving us some reports from the Senior Bowl all throughout the week, practices, guys standing out. It was a really, really good week for the LSU guys. And before we go around this, I want to point out Chris Hilton, man, because Chris Hilton is just out there playing in every All-Star game that he can. And I love the friggin' hustle for that. That's a guy who it never materialized for him at LSU, whether it be injuries, playing time, just all of that kind of wrapped into one. Guys ahead of him on the depth chart. And he's just a really, really immensely talented wide receiver. So he goes to the East-West Shrine Bowl, does that whole deal, hops on a plane as soon as it's over, and arrives at the Senior Bowl on Wednesday. Like, misses the first day of practice, and he found himself on the scoreboard Thursday, along with Barry and Brown when it came to fastest players, the guys who reached the top speed of that day. That's just so admirable to see a guy who, man, again, didn't go the way he wanted at LSU. We all know that. But to still seize his opportunity the way that he has, and you think, like, you're going to tell me that doesn't look good to a front office? I think that looks really good to a front office. Man, this guy just played in one All-Star game, and now he doesn't even go home. He just immediately comes to the next one and performs like that. Is right there among some of the top performers. So I thought that was really awesome. I don't know if we talked about really that enough over the last 2 days. The performance that Chris Hilton put forth, and I mean, understandably so. I mean, look, Garrett Nussmeier had a really, really good week. I mean, I'm actually excited to see what he can do in the game, full speed on Saturday. And look, I don't know about y'all. I ain't leaving the house tomorrow. It's going to be so damn. I think the high's 37. I ain't leaving the house. I want to be locked up with the heater on, some hot chocolate, maybe some leftovers, and I might just put the Senior Bowl on and grind that. Starting at 1:30, as I really do want to see what Nussmeier will do, and obviously Barry and Brown and Aaron Anderson. Nuss and Brown had a really, really good week, out there in Mobile, and just with everybody who grabbed all the headlines, like our guy from John Carroll, Tyron Montgomery, the wide receiver, had never played football before in his life. Then one day his brother taught him a slant route in the backyard. Now he's going to go to the NFL. Which, by the way, when you hear the term God-given ability, that's that. Like that, you play basketball your whole life. You're just sitting on the couch one day and your brother's like, hey, you want to go throw the football? And you go out there, he teaches you a slant route, and now you're on the precipice of getting drafted. That is insane. And credit to that young man. His story is incredible, and he's doing the most with that God-given ability. I actually would love for the Saints to draft him. And doesn't he just sound like a New Orleans Saint? Jordan, back me up. He went to John Carroll. He didn't play football until the backyard days.
It's crazy.
And small school, Senior Bowl, and we don't know his relative athletic score yet, but I'm sure it'll be great.
He'll jump off the screen.
Like, the Saints they got to be head over heels in love with that guy.
Nah, that's definitely a Mickey Loomis. Like, he's looking at the menu, he's salivating. He might need a bib at the moment.
You make the perfect Mickey Loomis draft pick in a lab. It feels like it's Ty Montgomery from John Carroll.
Well, he might need to be a guard or like an
That's
edge.
true. That's true.
It might be a guard on the edge.
That's true. Skill. Well, I mean, Marcus Colston came from Hofstra.
Right.
I mean,
you're right, man.
Could be,
I hate to say it. Rashid Shaheed, undrafted. I was on the Seahawks right now.
Rashid Shaheed undrafted. Lance Moore. I mean, like, we've seen it at receiver too.
We've seen it happen. We've seen it
at receiver too. But with everyone else grabbing the headlines, we need to give Chris Hilton some love. So that's really kind of what I wanted to do and tie in the rest of the Senior Bowl. So 1:30 kickoff for the Senior Bowl tomorrow from Mobile. You'll see 4 LSU guys on the offensive side. Bummer that Halsey and Pyburn ultimately couldn't make it. But, look, we'll obviously keep an eye on those guys through the combine process and all of that. But exciting times. Get yourself a bowl of soup. some gumbo, crawfish etouffee, a blanket. Watch the Senior Bowl tomorrow. It's going to be 37 degrees, and that's just stupid. All right. Let's go ahead and go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Texas Longhorns.
Steve Sarkisian is not done in the transfer portal. Texas here on Friday signed Wake Forest transfer wide receiver Sterling Burkhalter. News first reported by Pete Nako, of On3. Final year of eligibility for Burkhalter in Austin. Previous stops, North Carolina A&T, Cincinnati, and Wake Forest. 76 career receptions, 1,083 career yards. He did set career highs at Wake Forest this year in catches and receiving yards. Second transfer portal addition at receiver for Texas, joining Cam Coleman from Auburn.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
Oklahoma linebacker Owen Heineke saw the NCAA deny his waiver for an extra year of eligibility. Sooners GM Jim Nagy announcing the news on Twitter. Also, Jim Nagy said the Sooners plan to appeal. Heineke was listed as a redshirt junior in 2025, but has completed his 5th collegiate season. Here's the catch. 4 of those years were with the Sooners on the football team. The other was in the Ohio State lacrosse team his freshman season. He was a breakout performer for OU in 2025, 74 tackles, 3 sacks. While he was awaiting the NCAA's decision, he did opt in to the 2026 Senior Bowl. So we'll see kind of how that goes. Quick catch up if you're looking for something else to watch on Saturday here in BR when it's just, frigid. You can do that with some SEC basketball. Great slate. Texas A&M will be at Georgia. Texas will be at Oklahoma. It's Mississippi State and Missouri to kick off the 2:30 slate. That's on the SEC Network. Vanderbilt, Mark Byington's squad, who's just been fantastic. They host Ole Miss. 15th ranked Arkansas, who is just about as hot as any team in college basketball right now. They will host Kentucky. That's going to be a madhouse. Obviously, Bud Walton, John Calipari welcoming in his former team. Auburn is at Tennessee. Intrigue there. Stephen Pearl, Auburn's head coach, a Tennessee grad, so facing his alma mater. And then your Fighting Tigers of LSU. They'll travel up to South Carolina, face the Gamecocks, a team who beat them already in the Maravich Center. There you have it. That is around the SEC. This is After Further Review, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar here on a Friday. Putting a button on the week. Got plenty to come here still left. But before we get to that, and before I tell you what that is, Matt is going to remind you about
South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. In the market for a new vehicle, might be in the market for a new vehicle. Say it all the time. Just put Volkswagen on your list. So much of the Volkswagen brand is built around having fun. It exudes that when you go to South Point Volkswagen. They're going to work a great deal, and they got the best inventory. Remember, if it's on the lot, it's online at southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned. Check their entire inventory online. Work out your financing online. Do it all online at southpointvw.com. Then go see them at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?
I'm going to make a mental note to switch that one out. The show is not over. That's the end of the show sounds. Their show is not over. In fact, we have 2 hours left of the show and a lot to get to. I'm going to grab a break here and come back. We've obviously talked a lot about Joe Brady the last couple of days taking the Buffalo Bills job for a lot of reasons. We're very familiar with Joe Brady here. A couple years with the Saints, obviously of 2019 LSU fame, and now getting his first head coaching job. It's a big deal. Saw Coach O earlier today posted a video on Twitter congratulating Joe Brady on getting the head coaching job. But Joe Brady made a move today for his coaching staff that is definitely intriguing and has been the cause for a lot of conversation here on this Friday. We'll touch on that to close out hour number 1 next.
After Further Review.
We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rolled into Rouse's earlier today. Went to go buy Evermore. And I love they have an Asian bowl that they make. It's Asian, fried rice with, you can get chicken or beef. I got the beef, fried rice, and vegetables bowl. So many great options. They have sushi made daily. They got the salad bar. They get so many different options. The hot bar. The hot and boiled seafood kiosk as well. Grab dinner for the entire family. Everybody can get something different. If you want lunch, dinner, it's great every day. They got tons of king cakes, as we talk about all the time. You want to ship a king cake. Got a couple more weeks until Mardi Gras, so ship your king cake anywhere in the lower 48. If you got a family member or a coworker, a client, something you want to give them a little taste of Carnival, go to Rouses.com, Rouses.com. Ship that king cake anywhere in the continental 48. It's Rouses, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouses.com, Rouses.com. Rouses, this feels like home.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, so Joe Brady was hired by the Buffalo Bills as the head coach to replace Sean McDermott. I mean, it's a huge first job for Joe Brady. We'll talk about that here a little bit momentarily. But he made a staff hire today that, as familiar as we all are with Joe Brady, we're very familiar with this coach as well, and it's Pete Carmichael. Joe Brady and the Buffalo Bills have hired Pete Carmichael away from Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos to be the offensive coordinator for the Bills. It's the first coordinator hire for Brady, and it's a guy he's extremely familiar with. They overlapped for 2 years when Brady was in New Orleans on Payton's staff. They both worked under there. Obviously, they have a lot of comfortability with each other. They worked together in that offensive room with Brady in that kind of analyst role, things of that nature. So you see this often, obviously, with head coaches. in their first job. They're going to hire guys that they have a rapport with. So from that vein, I think this is actually a really good move for Joe Brady. It's a guy in Pete Carmichael who has been on staff in some of the best years of an organization's history with the New Orleans Saints. It's a guy who has learned under one of the best head coaches in the NFL in Sean Payton. And it's a guy that can bring new and fresh ideas to the Buffalo Bills offense. When you look at them, they're trying to get over the hump, right? They're trying to win the Super Bowl. That's why they fired Sean McDermott, because they thought he wasn't going to get them there, let alone the roster holes they had for the last, 5 years. But that's what they're going for here. In all those areas, this is a great hire for the Bills and Joe Brady. I think the main question was, is Joe Brady going to give up play calling duties? And he answered that yesterday at his introductory press conference, where he said, no, he's still going to call plays. So, where has Pete Carmichael functioned best in his career? When he doesn't have to call plays. He's got the experience of doing it. You love the input. But the results on the field during games, they weren't great. Just call it really what it was. And you could ask, well, Derek Carr as opposed to Josh Allen, maybe something of that nature. It looked good the one year when Sean Payton was suspended and Pete had Drew Brees in that offense. Like, that worked. But I think a lot of people would look at this and go, Pete Carmichael could call plays. Well, no. Just Joe Brady's going to call the plays. It's all about the input. I actually love this move for Joe Brady, because I'm going to tell you right now, I have my doubts about Joe Brady as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. That is a bear of a job to take on as your first head coaching job, not just in the NFL, your first head coaching job ever. And look, you do see that more in the National Football League than anywhere else, where coordinators go up and they don't have, head coaching experience, maybe at this level, that level. I mean, hell, some guys like Joe Brady start off in the NFL low level and just work their way up until they get to head coach. That does happen. But it's not often you take on a job where the previous coach led the team to 7 straight playoff appearances and 8 overall in his 9 years. You know why that doesn't happen often? Because normally that guy's not fired. But anyway, Sean McDermott was. And Joe Brady, we talked about this a little bit yesterday during Tigers and the Pros. He said all the right things. He's embracing the expectations. That's why he took the job. Like, he's not shying away from this. This is what he wants. That's great. And you know what? I hope this goes fantastic for Joe Brady. But I do have my doubts. And gave you this stat yesterday. I'll give it to you one more time if you missed it. Since 2000, of the coaches that are promoted from within to be the head coach, and look, y'all, the Saints just went through this with Dennis Allen. Since 2000, of those guys promoted from within to head coach, 2 of them have finished with winning records. 2 of them. In their career, in their time with that team. Just 2. It was Jason Garrett with Dallas and Mike Martz with the then St. Louis Rams. So history's not really there. But that's another reason I actually do like this hire. Get you someone who's you're comfortable with, a veteran to bounce ideas off of. The real thing for Joe Brady is going to be who he can bring on staff that can help him with game management. Because that's just not something he's ever had to do. And there's going to be mistakes there. There were mistakes there with Kellen Moore. He'd never had to do that before. There were mistakes early in the season. By the end of it, he had it down pat. That's something you have to get down with a head coach. And that's what's interesting, again, with Brady continuing to call plays like Kellen Moore did. It just brings a lot onto your plate. I like the idea. I like the hire. I like Pete Carmichael, man. The guy was part of a lot of winning in New Orleans. Did it end poorly? Sure. but he was a part of the greatest years of the franchise, so I wish him nothing but the best too. Odd though, and we'll close with this at the end of the hour. Odd though, you look at the turnover on Denver staff, it's a lot of New Orleans Saints guys. Sean fired Joe Lombardi, and now Pete Carmichael, who's been one of his closest confidants, out the door too. Interesting times in Denver as well. Maybe they won't be the Denver Saints anymore, like they kind of just have been since Sean Payton took over. But best of luck to Joe Brady. Best of luck to Pete Carmichael up there. We'll be watching, clearly, when the season rolls back around and the Bills take back to the field. All right, we're going to grab a break, come back on the other side. We have Sports Center to get you caught up on national headlines. When we come back to start the 4 o'clock hour, there is actually one change in the college football playoff for 2026 that's worth mentioning. We'll tell you about that next for Hour 2 of AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawbillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. They will always find a way to get you the best possible price for the best possible tires on the road. That's what they do at Shawbills. And when they get you in by selling you the best tires at the cheapest price possible, they're going to treat you like family, and they're going to treat you so good you're going to keep coming back year after year after year every time you need anything for your vehicle. Tires rotated, oil changed, check engine light on, brakes squeaking, whatever's wrong with your vehicle, bring it to Shawbills. Let them give it the once-over, and you can always schedule online, so it's convenient. ShawbillsTire.com. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. Shop tires online at ShawbillsTire.com. Be sure to ask about the Shawbills credit card as well, because you can save $50 off your first purchase when you use the Shawbills credit card only at Shawbills.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose. Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier.
Dos Equis.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm John Ryder. The Vikings have parted ways with GM Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah after 4 years. Minnesota made the playoffs in 2 of Mensah's 4 seasons, including last season. The Ravens are hiring Bears offensive coordinator Declan Doyle for the same role with Baltimore, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. Patriots quarterback Drake May missing practice today with an illness. The MVP candidate also has a right shoulder injury. Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel at today's press conference following practice.
Favorably, yeah, he's fine.
How much did he practice yesterday, Mike? Tell us.
Well, however you label limited, that's how much he practiced. It wasn't full, and so if it's not full, it has to be down as limited. So I don't know what percentage of the normal work, but it's pretty clear that if you're not, you don't take the normal reps or whatever you would normally take. So it wasn't that much.
Patriots taking on the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60 in 9 days. Bengals quarterback Joe Flacco has been added to the AFC Pro Bowl roster. It's the first time he's been selected in his entire 18-year career. The Pro Bowl games are on Tuesday night on ESPN TV.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Monday, Drake May and Sam Darnold will get all the headlines, but I'll tell you which players will decide the Super Bowl. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
All right, off and running hour number 2. After further review here on a Friday, we're presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Musso in for Moscona. Got Jordan Kitchens on the 1s and 2s. Paul O'Neill along for the ride as well. And we're fired up to have you along for the ride with us here as we send you into your weekend. What's going to be a very cold and frigid weekend, but the weekend nonetheless. It's been a great hour of the show so far, man. We still got a lot to get to. Still have to get to not 1, but 3 LSU baseball segments, or baseball segments in general, that we have planned out for you. So really looking forward to that. And got a new mock draft and a change to the Saints coaching staff as well that we have to get to. So still plenty to do. And again, fired up to have you all along for the ride. Want to start here with a change to the college football playoff. A change to the college football playoff when? Well, for 2026. And no, it's not expansion. We know they're going to stay at 12. And I know that's the change that everybody wanted, myself included. Not only did I want that, not only did the majority of the fans wanted that, how about all 10 conferences and Notre Dame wanted it, but Greg Sankey and Tony Petitti couldn't agree on a format, so we're just going to stay at 12 one more year. Okay, fine. That's fine with me. I know a lot of people get angry over that stuff, that, oh, the SEC and the Big Ten, they sat here and, manipulated things to where they got all the control and then they couldn't agree. They couldn't put their egos aside. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really care. 12's good. Like, the 12-team playoff was awesome this year, and it's probably going to be awesome in 2026. And eventually, they'll come to an agreement, and they'll expand, and then it'll happen again where they probably can't put their egos aside. Fine, whatever. Like, it's going to happen. It'll be fine. But there is a change to the college football playoff that was made rather silently for 2026. And that deals with the guaranteed spot that goes to the group of 6. It's a slight change, but it's significant. Here's why, and here's the change. The change is the group of 6 CFP bid no longer has to be a conference champion. When in the past it was the 5 highest ranked conference champions, 4 Power 4, and then 1 from the group of 6. And when you look at a year like this, where you ended up with Duke winning the ACC and upsetting Virginia, if Virginia wins that game, they're in the college football playoff as one of the 5 highest ranked conference champions. Well, they didn't. Duke wins. They were a 5-loss team and had no prayer of ever getting into the playoff. In this iteration, it goes to James Madison. Now you look at this and it's just the group of 6. It will most likely be the highest ranked champion. It's still going to, but it doesn't have to be. That's half of this. The other half is way more significant because it's what it prevents. Not only does the group of 6 representative now have to be a conference champion, in 2026, you will see guaranteed bids to the 4 Power 4 conference champions. So say what happened in the ACC happens again, Duke would be in the college football playoff. What this is preventing is what you saw this year, where you had 2 group of 6 teams in, which I know a lot of people think that's fun and that's novel. Those games were not entertaining. Those games do not belong. And I understand what everybody's going to say. Indiana beat the hell out of Alabama. They beat the hell out of Oregon. There's blowouts every year. Yep, you're right. There are blowouts every year. There's blowouts every year in the NFL in the NFL playoffs. That happens. But no one's expecting Indiana to go beat Oregon 56-20 or whatever it was. You're expecting that to be a pretty competitive game. Everyone expected Ole Miss to dump truck Tulane. You know why? Because you saw them do that in the regular season. Literally, had already seen it happen. Same stadium, same everything. It was expected. Everyone expected Oregon to rout James Madison. That's what you're trying to get out. You're never going to purge blowouts out of sports. It just happens. Sometimes you show up and you don't have your best that day, and the other team does, and they run you out the building. Like what happened with Indiana and Oregon in the Peach Bowl. Like what happened with Indiana and Alabama in the Rose Bowl. And Alabama just really wasn't great this year, and Indiana was. And that's the other thing. Sometimes you're just going to have a team that's better than everybody, and they're normally going to win it, like Indiana did, like Ohio State did a year ago. So you're never going to get rid of that. But man, you could certainly curtail it and make for a more interesting playoff. And this does. This does that. Now, the other part of that is the Duke conversation. Because I can very easily sit here and say, and kind of contradict my own point and be like, well, you don't think Duke getting in as a 5-loss team would just get blown out? Yeah, they probably would, and I don't really like that. But how often does that happen? How often do you have an upset like that in a conference championship game where it's a 5-loss team getting in? Not very often. You could see a 3-loss team, and if that's the case, fine, let's get a 3-loss team in the playoff. When you expand this thing, you're going to have 3-loss teams in the playoff all the time anyway. You're probably going to have a 3-loss team in the playoff this year, maybe even multiple, because the SEC just went to 9 games, and you're going to have more 3-loss teams in the league. I'll tell you right now, I think LSU could potentially make the college football playoff as a 3-loss team. I know that's not what anybody wants to hear. You want them to go 10-2 and 11-1, but look at the schedule. It's possible that LSU goes 9-3, but with the schedule they played, and depending on where your losses are and who they're to and at what time of the year, you could get in at 9-3. That's why when Greg Sankey wanted this thing to expand, he wasn't going to move to 9 conference games until it did. The other part of the Duke conundrum is the ACC has got to look at their tiebreaker situation, and I'm sure they will. Jim Phillips has kind of already talked about that, the ACC commissioner, and it'll happen to where, well, Duke's not in that game at 5 losses. So when I look at this, it's a slight silent change, but I think it's very good for the competitiveness of the college football playoff. It's not going to completely eliminate blowouts, but you're never going to. There's one more thing I want to note here. And it's the Notre Dame clause that everybody became very aware of after the season. And Notre Dame, in their mind, being unceremoniously left out of the college football playoff. Meanwhile, the team they thought they should get in over played for a national title. Anyway, stay hot, South Bend. You know, ye old Notre Dame. And it's the fact that now in this iteration, and this has not been changed, is that Notre Dame, if they're in the committee's final top 12, they are guaranteed a spot in the playoff over anyone. And then you look at Notre Dame's schedule for 2026, and it's laughable. Like, if Notre Dame doesn't go 12-0 on this schedule, with everything they have coming back from last year's team and everything that they brought in the recruiting class and whatnot, it's a big problem. You look at this, and it's very easy to see that the only ranked teams on Notre Dame's schedule will be at BYU and at home against Miami. And you have a bye week in between those. Other than that, it's North Carolina and SMU. SMU might end up being ranked. We'll see. Syracuse, Boston College, Stanford, Wisconsin. So here's what I want to see. I want to see a scenario where, let's say Notre Dame wins all their layups, goes on the road, loses to BYU, or let's say goes on the road, beats a ranked BYU team, comes home after a bye, loses to Miami on their home field. You're sitting there at 11-1 with one ranked win over a quality opponent. Will the committee have them in the top 12? Or will they judge this the way they should, the way they did this year to Notre Dame? And it doesn't even matter if they have that little clause in that if we're in the top 12, it's very easy for the committee to look at this schedule and be like, yeah, you had a great win at North Carolina and a great win at Stanford and Boston College. Yeah, that just doesn't do it for us. If Notre Dame, if the committee does what they are supposed to do, which I get it, that's a big ask, but if they do what they're supposed to do in 2026, if Notre Dame doesn't beat both BYU and Miami, they don't deserve to be in off of that schedule. Now, just looking at it on paper here, teams could be better than we expect. Teams could be worse than we expect. All of that has to go. But I'm going to tell you right now, if they aren't knocking on the door of at least 11-1 with that schedule, I have a big problem, because that's hot garbage right there for the Fighting Irish in 2026. So while everyone gets bent out of shape over if they're in the top 12, they get the guaranteed spot, and I get why you would be. Why do they deserve that? They don't. No team does. It might not be cut and dry because their schedule is, on the surface, so lackadaisical. Just something to file away. But I do like the slight change that was made to the college football playoff. I think it will make the field more competitive. All right, we're going to grab a break, come back on the other side. We're going to talk some LSU baseball next here on AFR. Stick around.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Segan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Don Moore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. You know those 4 locations, and what an awesome time to get by Clegg's Nursery, because they still have every single day shipments of flowers coming in, plants, trees, shrubs. You want to beautify the exterior of your home. You want to add that pop of color to your flower bed, to your patio pots. Maybe you got unwanted pests like ants or snakes or mosquitoes, wasps. They can help you take care of all of them. Maybe you got weeds coming up in your lawn. You want to get rid of that. Maybe you got dead spots in your lawn. The horticulturists, the professionals at Clegg's Nursery have the knowledge, the know-how, the expertise, and all the products you need to win Yard of the Month every month for your whole life. Guaranteed. Actually, I can't back that up. You have to do some of the work, too. It's Clegg's Nursery.
I have no doubt that Our Lady of the Lake will keep me healthy. They make sure to do whatever they can in their power to make sure that we are 100%. They're constantly giving us resources, giving us advice on what to do. I think that just really helps us be the best players that we can be.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Love telling you about Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. That's Arco Power Systems. We talk about generators a lot in Louisiana, especially all along the Gulf Coast, where we're sort of in this storm belt right here in the Gulf Coast. Well, of course, a lot of people have home standby generators. When we talk about Arco Power Systems, these are not home standby generators. This is industrial generator power. This is for your business. I mean, just think about it. When the power goes out, be it a hurricane, an ice storm, snow like we had last year, power goes out. What do you do with your business? Well, being offline is not an option. That's why you need Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, arco.com. Just look at all the locations. Baton Rouge, Bossier, Harvey, Lake Charles, Mandeville, Mobile, LaPorte, Texas, San Antonio, Little Rock, Houston, Dallas. They're everywhere. So if you're a business and you need standby power for your business, you need Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, arco.com.
LSU baseball starts in 14 days. That's just such... that rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? Man. February the 13th, they'll open it up against Milwaukee at the box. 2 p.m., first pitch, the defending national champions. They will take the field. I really could have come in this room, sat in this chair, grabbed the microphone, and talked about LSU baseball for 3 hours today. Easily. Like, that would not have been a chore for me at all. But I did the proper thing and mixed in other topics that were of importance. Like, oh, hey, Charlie Weis turned down the New York Giants. He's going to come back. That kind of matters, right? But now we get to talk LSU baseball. And this is the first of a couple different segments that we have planned out. And I'm fired up to do so. So, there's been a lot of questions asked about this team as they get set to embark in the 5th season of the Jay Johnson era and defend a second national championship. I know Jay Johnson hates the phrase defending a championship because you're not defending anything. It's a new season and all that stuff that they have to say over there and that they truly believe, by the way. Like, that's a real thing. Like, it's coach speak in a sense, but like, now is now in that building. And, you know, the task at hand is the task at hand, and you can only do what's right in front of you. Like, that's a real thing. I think you saw that on display a season ago. But we can call it whatever we want, and we can talk about it here, and that's what we're going to do. Because one of the main questions, while there have been a lot asked, is, hey, can they really go back-to-back? Is that realistic for this club? Everyone's saying how talented they are and how deep they are. Can they really go back-to-back? I'm here to tell you, yes. Yeah, they can. That's what national championship is, a realistic expectation for this team. And I have a few reasons why. But before I get to that, I want to talk about the historical significance of what this season could represent for LSU. Because it's not just back-to-back national championships you're chasing, it is 3 out of 4. The College World Series was first played in 1947. There have been 78 College World Series. And in that time, there has been one program, win 3 out of 4 national championships. One. It was Southern Cal in 1968, 1970, and 1971. That's the list. And that's what you're trying to join. And LSU has had this opportunity twice before. In 1994, and you made it back to Omaha. You went 2 in barbecue and you were home. And in 1998, you went back to Omaha, started 2-0, and then kind of a weird coincidence, it was Southern Cal who came back and beat you twice and sent you home. Now you have the opportunity again. So that's the history that you're chasing with this. And man, I'd love to see him do it for that historical part of it, just to further strengthen LSU's hold on the standard of college baseball. Like, selfishly. But why do I believe they can do it? Well, first, let's go back to the last time that LSU had an opportunity to defend a national championship, and that was 2024, and that didn't go very well. Right? You made it through the pre-conference with 1 loss, but there were some chinks you could see, like, oh, the offense kind of really slow to get going here. The pitching staff's really carrying it. Then when you flip to the SEC, the offense kind of started to pick it up, but the pitching staff struggled. You were facing a gauntlet. You started 3-12. All of that factored in, but what also did is you just weren't a great baseball team at that point in the season yet. It came to you later. You knocked off the number 1 team in the country in A&M. You played some really good ball down the stretch, and you were oh so close to winning the Chapel Hill Regional, but you fell short. But you were able to build off of that into 2025, and we know what happened. There are a lot of similarities on paper to the 2024 LSU team with this one in 26. But while they look so similar, they are oh so different. Take this for example, and this is the first reason I like this team's chances to be a legitimate contender. Forgive me for the numbers here. They illustrate a bigger point. You do not have to memorize this. There will not be a test. I'm not going to, send out a questionnaire, right? But I just want to illustrate similarity. In 2024, LSU lost 377 starts from your position players off of the championship team in 23. So you returned 262. If you look at this season, you lose from your position players 324 starts. Similar. You return 288. Similar. That's a difference of what? 22? That's very comparable. On the mound, it's even more eerily similar. You lost 368 in a third innings pitched off of that 2023 team, including your top 2 in your rotation in Paul Skeens and Ty Floyd. This go round, you're losing 335 and a third, including your top two out of your rotation in Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson. 24, you return 244 innings. This go round, 249 and a third. On paper, it's very similar. That's where it stops. The 377 starts you lost from 2023 are nowhere near equivalent to the 324 starts you lose in 2020 off the 2025 team. Go back to that starting lineup you lost. You lost Dylan Cruz. You lost Trey Morgan. You lost Braden Jobert, Cade Beloso, Gavin Dugas, Jordan Thompson, guys who started damn near every game for you. Some of them did start every. Thompson and Cruz did start every game. You basically returned Tommy White and Jared Jones out of your lineup. That's it. Look at this year's team. You bring back Derek Curiel, Stephen Milam, Jake Brown, Chris Stanfield. You know, you look at a guy like Cade Arambidi, who got some at-bats, started 19 games a year ago for you, and you're looking for him to take the next step. But even just with Stanfield, Milam, and Brown, and Curiel, that's 4 cornerstones in your lineup that you did not bring back the last time you were trying to do this. That is veteran guys who have been in this program for 3 years and played a lot as freshmen in 2024, like Milam and Brown, who are now their 3rd year in the program and have elevated themselves to leaders. And you just don't get the more consummate veteran in the SEC than a guy like Chris Stanfield. So that's one reason that's vastly different. The same can be applied in the bullpen, on the pitching staff. You got Kason Evans a lot of run. Now, yeah, he's going to move into the starting rotation. We'll see how that goes. That can be tricky for some guys. I have the utmost confidence in him doing that. But you look at others you bring back like Zach Cowan. Think about this. You lost Riley Cooper off that 2023 team. Led your team in appearances. He was awesome for you for 2 years. You didn't really find a replacement for him until Griffin Herring emerged, come SEC play in that 2024 season. Zach Cowan slides right back in potentially to that type of role. Who affected how many games last year that you won? Your core is so much stronger. The comparison ends with the numbers. The starts and the players you return are immensely more valuable than what happened in 2023. After 2023, I should say. The other similarity there is a very highly touted sophomore class. You'll remember the freshmen on that 2023 team were part of the number 1 recruiting class in high school baseball. You might recall the freshmen on last year's team were part of, you guessed it, the number 1 recruiting class in high school baseball. You were expecting a lot of guys from that freshman class to take a step up in 2024. Jared Jones was one of them, and boy, did he hit 28 homers. But there was also Brady Neal and Paxton Kling and Ethan Fry. And even some guys on the pitching staff as well. And, Neal's case was really interesting because he started the season as your starter, started the first 26 games, got hurt. So he didn't get the full sample size of him, and he was coming off an injury, but it never really materialized. Same thing really with Paxton Kling. And in turn, that and some portal misses, you ended up having to turn to the freshmen, like Milam, like Brown, Ashton Larson at the time, although he's no longer with the program, he's at Texas now. But you look at this sophomore class, and you see guys who contributed a bunch, like Derek Curiel, who started every game for LSU as a freshman and reached base 43 consecutive times as a freshman. That guy's back. Kason Evans, we talked about him. Maverick Rizzi led your team in appearances a year ago. He's back as part of this highly touted sophomore class. William Schmidt, Cooper Williams, a lot of it on the mound, but you look at a guy like Cade Arambidi, who hit 400 in the fall and looks like he can be as good as he wants to be, and Jay Johnson tasked him with being the best player in the program. You're more proven in the sophomore class than you were the last time you had this opportunity. They contributed to winning a lot more. The last thing is the unknown, and that's the transfer portal. It didn't go so hot for LSU out of the portal in 2024. It's the 1 year Jay has missed. It's It's the one year where you can look and go, that didn't work out the way you wanted it to. The other 3 have been awesome. And you have a lot of reason to believe that this one will be. Cooper Moore has been setting the world on fire. The guy threw 4 shutout yesterday in a scrimmage and punched out 8. Like, real good. And he's going to come in and be part of this rotation. You didn't bring him in from a guy who was in every role in Kansas's rotation a year. You didn't bring him in to not start. He'll start. He's going to be great. You think that right now. Man, you love what you're seeing from Trent Caraway, from Seth Dardar, from Braden Simpson, from all those guys that you brought in transfer-wise. We thought that in 2024. You got into it, and it didn't necessarily go as planned. On paper, I can sit here and say, man, the early returns from the transfer portal class are awesome. But until it's live bullets flying and it's the regular season and you're watching these guys that go through a 30-game gauntlet that is the SEC, we don't know. And we won't be able to know until then. And we can't answer the question of if the transfer portal class is in fact better than the one you brought in to supplement from the 2024, so I should say from the 2023 championship, until we actually get out there and watch them play the 56-game schedule. And how they contribute to the results and how positively. But one thing's for sure, you have a more proven sophomore class and you have a much better nucleus, a much better core returning both on the field and from a leadership standpoint than you did the last time you were going out there. And that's a credit to Jay Johnson, Josh Jordan, and the rest of that staff and how they've been able to build this roster. Been getting early, highly touted freshmen in and playing a lot and then being able to supplement things through the portal. College baseball is really the only sport I believe that you can still do it that way. In football, you need to be portal heavy. In basketball, you need to be portal heavy. In baseball, you can build a foundation still. And they have done that. They have put on a master class in how to do that over there at the box. So they should be commended for that. And that is ultimately why you look at this, or I look at this and I go, yeah, much better setup for this group than the last time they went and attempted this. So, yeah. Is that a realistic expectation? Can they do it? Absolutely. Is that their goal? Damn right that's their goal. It's their goal every year. They roll, they toe the rubber, they dig into the dirt. That's their goal. 2 weeks from now, we start to get answers. If that's the trajectory they'll be on. And it'll play out over the course. But 2 weeks from now, we start to get the first answer to that very, very lofty question. And I'm fired up for it. Favorite day of the year. Not Christmas, not my birthday. It's opening day. It's my favorite day of the year. Say it every year, and I'm going to live that. All right. We're going to grab a break. We're going to come back on the other side. A change to the Saints coaching staff and a very interesting mock draft. Tell you what all that means next here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel, 2 beautiful hotel properties in Baton Rouge, the Watermark downtown, the Renaissance Southtown right there on Bluebonnet. And when it comes to hosting your event, both the Watermark and the Renaissance are perfect. The Watermark is a gorgeous, elegant spot in downtown Baton Rouge. That wedding reception, that smaller gathering, that meeting space, they can do it. They've kept so much of the history and tradition of that iconic building while modernizing it. The Gregory is a great restaurant inside of the Watermark as well. And then, of course, the Renaissance Hotel. Southtown, right there on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. It's more modern. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous hotel property at the Renaissance Hotel where they have meeting space that can accommodate up to 500 people, 7,000 square foot of meeting space, perfectly located right off of Bluebonnet and I-10. It's the Watermark and the Renaissance Hotels in Baton Rouge. AFR is brought to you by the Watermark Hotel.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I definitely trust the lake to take care of my body. Being the smallest person on the court, I just have to be in a lot better shape than everyone else, just being quicker and faster. Just having that trust on and off the court is going to help you win a lot more games.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
AFR is brought to you by Parish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens, commercial or residential. As a matter of fact, Parish Restoration, I love the process, by the way. If you go to the website at parishrestoration.com, you can see videos of their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. So you see exactly what it looks like. Very cool. But they have fogged over at Parish Restoration. They fogged one of the largest buildings in the entire state of Louisiana. So it doesn't matter if it's your office building, your church, whatever it may be, school, or your home. They can even fog your car. Maybe your car has a weird odor, musty smell. Maybe you bought a used car from a smoker and you can't get that smoky smell out. This will do it. They'll come while you're at work, fog it. By the time you're done with work for the day, boom, you're back in a clean smelling, fresh smelling vehicle. It's Parish Restoration. Learn more at parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com. Do business with someone you know. Parishrestoration.com.
Back here after further review on a Friday, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Musso filling in for Moscona. Moscona will be back here with you on Monday. Just a quick day out of the office for Matt. But we're carrying you here. We're halfway home. And I'm really excited to talk about this. So you may have seen this. Obviously, the NFL draft on the horizon. We got Senior Bowl going on, East-West Shrine Game, Hula Bowl, all the All-Star games. It's that time of the year. Those are happening. Everyone's really getting into mock draft season. Just draft full bore from now until April. Got the Combine next month. Like, that's where the focus is right now and on the NFL calendar. And then after that, it'll go to free agency, yada, yada, yada. But right now, we're on the draft. You might have seen this. Carnell Tate, wide receiver from Ohio State, entering the NFL draft. He was on Down to Business. It's a podcast hosted by Caleb and Josh Downs. And they were talking to him about, I think the question was, where do you want to go? Like, where do you want to be drafted? Yeah, he gave the answer like, I want to go where I'm going to be targeted. Someone who really wants me, those kind of things. And then he kind of went a little deeper and was like, Josh Allen does a really nice job. And oh, by the way, New Orleans would be really good too. Tyler Shuck's balling. I could see myself in that offense. very vocally, like, Josh Allen, yeah, but hey, Tyler Shuck, I'm down for that as well. It's like, oh, okay. Little does Carnell Tate know that he is probably very high on the Saints board because of where he attended college. Saints love them some Ohio State players. I mean, you give the Saints this. Hey, this guy went to a small school, but look at his relative athletic score, and he was at the Senior Bowl, and they're going to jump all over it. Or you go, hey, this guy put up numbers at Ohio State, and they're going to be like, write it on the card, turn it into the commissioner right now. So little does Carnell Tate know, they probably already love you, buddy. But what is interesting is Tyler Shuck was asked about Carnell Tate's comments. That was today. He was on Up and Adams with Kay Adams. She just funnels through the Saints guest. Kay's big Saints supporter there, feels like all the time. And she very pointedly asked Tyler Shuck, Carnell Tate said he wants to play with you. What do you think of that?
But yeah, I think we can definitely add a playmaker like him for sure. But
would you like to play with him as much as he vocally is saying he'd like to play with you?
Of course. I mean, what he's been able to do at Ohio State, I think we got the proof of having a really good Ohio State receiver on roster already. So you can't go wrong there.
Shuck gets it. I mean, he knows Ohio State. That's what happens. See, we kid. They've had a lot of success with the Ohio State. Keep doing it. You're winning. Says he'd love to play with him as well. Why wouldn't he? I mean, Tyler Shuck needs weapons. We all know that, right? That's the chief task for the New Orleans Saints. You need some interior offensive line help, absolutely. You can get that a little bit later in the draft. Would you like to add another edge rusher? Sure, fine. But for me, and really the edge rusher thing is because of where you're picking in the draft. You're going to, depending on how things fall for you, you're going to have an opportunity to draft one of the higher ranked edge rushers more often than not. So that's why I think everybody really pays attention there. But look, I love what I saw from Chase Young. We'll see what happens with Cam Jordan's contract. Carl Granderson is a nice compliment on the other side. Would you love to bring in another rookie, start getting the feet wet? Sure. But for me, I'm looking at receiver and defensive back. But if I'm looking for a weapon for Tyler Shuck in the first round, it's wide receiver. So that brings me to a mock draft here from Yahoo Sports. Put together by Charles McDonald and Nate Tice. And at number 8 overall, they have the Saints selecting Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State. I would love this so much. I know a lot of people have their eye on Jordan Tyson. And man, I get it. And Jordan Tyson was awesome at Arizona State. Like he had a couple awesome seasons. Even this year without Levitt in the lineup throwing in the football a lot, he showed out. He's a great talent, very good over the middle. He's kind of just a complete wide receiver. What's interesting is in this mock draft that they put together, he is still on the board at 8, and they have the Saints going Carnell Tate. Man, I think you're splitting hairs with those two guys. And look, it might sound silly, but if what's going to put that over the top is Carnell Tate's want and willingness to be in New Orleans, I'm all for that. And I'm not, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that Jordan Tyson doesn't want to be in New Orleans. I just haven't heard him say it. And you know what? It's not often that you do hear guys say that kind of in a draft process. I don't want to deter anything, and it's not up to you, right? But it sure does fire me up a little bit more to hear a guy say, "Hey, I'd love to go to New Orleans." And by the way, his other team was the Bills, and I got news for you, bud. You aren't making it to 25 or wherever the Bills, 26, 27, wherever the Bills are picking in this thing. You're not falling that far unless you just completely, unless you fail a drug test or something, you'll fall even further than that. We don't wish that on Carnell Tate. Obviously, we're hoping him to be a Saint at this current moment. I'm just saying, it's going to take something like that for you to fall out of the top 15. Very likely even the top 10. But, you look at him, man, and he was in an offense with Jeremiah Smith, but the size is great, 6'3", 195. You got the big playability in there at 17 yards per catch this year. Finished just shy of 900 yards receiving, again, with Jeremiah Smith in there. And you see him play a great complement to Smith there. You're going to pay Chris Olave, much to the chagrin of many. I'm not really included in that, but you're going to pay him $30 million. You're looking for a compliment. And you know what? Maybe Carnell Tate ends up being a great receiver, and you look at him and go, oh, wait, he is the number one. Well, then you'll cross that bridge when you get to it. But right now, you're looking for him to come be a compliment. And I think he's shown that in Ohio State's offense. I think he can absolutely do that at the next level. The game will speed up, and there'll be a learning curve and all of those things. But if you're taking a guy 8th overall, you're expecting him to come in and play immediately as a rookie. And I love the big frame. I love the big playability. His willingness and want to be in New Orleans, he might be passing up Jordan Tyson for me as the wish list. Again, you're splitting hairs with them, but if what's going to put it over the top is him being like, yeah, I want to go play with Tyler Shuck, then okay, go get that guy if he's available for you. What will be really interesting is if this mock draft does play out, if the NFL draft plays out the way this mock draft played out, where both of them are on the board when the Saints get there to 8. And, Reuben Bain is off the board and Arvell Reese is off the board. And you're sitting there, you can pick the first receiver who they go with. That would be really, really intriguing. But how about that? Carnell Tate wants to play for the Saints, wants to play with Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck says, hell, I'll play with Carnell Tate. He went to Ohio State. They got to love him. And he should be there for you at 8. It'd be very, very interesting going forward there. Quick note before we hit break. Jari Evans, multiple reports last night and then again this morning. Jari Evans is expected to leave the New Orleans Saints staff and take a position with Pittsburgh. The exact title of that position, not known yet. It is worth noting that Mike McCarthy has already hired an offensive line coach, so this doesn't look to be a real promotion. It'd be more of a lateral move, but there could be an additional title or something like that added to Jari Evans to entice him to leave New Orleans when it is probably just another, assistant offensive line gig in general. We wish Jari Evans obviously the best, man. Look, guy, part of a lot of winning in Saints. He's a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame again this year. I don't know if this is going to be his year, but eventually Jari Evans will be in and he'll go in as a Saint, and that's awesome. You wish he could hang around, sure, but look, man, take what's next for you in your career. It's a familiar spot with Mike McCarthy, played for him as well in Green Bay after he left New Orleans, so all of that makes a ton of sense. You bid Jari Evans, great luck, and man, root for him to get into the Hall of Fame because that'll happen one day. And wouldn't it be awesome if it was this year? Probably won't be, but wouldn't it be awesome if it were this year? All right, we're gonna grab a break. Come back on the other side. We'll close out hour number 2 of AFR. A pretty lofty prediction already for LSU baseball as well. We'll tell you about that to close out hour number 2 next.
AFR.
Love telling you about our friends over at Duplessis Builders because they're going to build you a beautiful pool, build you a beautiful outdoor kitchen. They'll give you a 10-year workmanship warranty on their pool builds when the industry standard is 1. Let me say that slowly so you understand. Most pool builders, when they build your pool, they give you a 1-year warranty on their work. 1 year. Duplessis gives you a 10-year workmanship warranty. Because Derek is an engineer by trade. They take the time to do it right as they go through the process of the pool build. So they're building you something that is going to last, something beautiful that's going to last. You want to know why Duplessis Builders was named a top 50 pool builder in America by Pool & Spa Magazine? Meet with them one time, you'll get it. DuplessisBuilders.net. That beautiful pool, that outdoor kitchen, they can do it all for you. DuplessisBuilders.net.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, as we say, together we roar. Part of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System. And, you know, I love telling you about Our Lady of the Lake because whenever we talk about healthcare, Our Lady of the Lake understands the two things primarily that people want are access and convenience. And they knock that out of the park. Whether it be at the regional medical center, if it's the lake after hours, if it's any of the specialty services that you may need, heart, stroke, cancer, pediatrics, you want the best. You want Our Lady of the Lake. You can learn more about the Championship Health Partnership, OLOLRMC.com/LSU, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar.
All right, one more LSU baseball note here to close out hour number 2. Fret none, though. There's another LSU baseball segment in the third hour, so stick around for that. D1Baseball.com, they released their SEC preview on Thursday, which included the predicted order of finish, and they have LSU winning the SEC. I have a quick thought on that because it's not a prerequisite, right? I mean, LSU won the SEC a year ago. They won the national championship. Who cares? You won the more important trophy, right? Same thing happened in 2023. But this is another selfish thing for me. I'd love to see LSU win the conference. There is something to be said winning the best conference in college baseball. That is the SEC, and that is a big badge of honor. And it's also the last thing that Jay Johnson really has to check off his list at LSU. Like, you realize that the guy's won 2 national championships already. He's had the number 1 pick in the draft. He's had a Golden Spikes Award winner. Like, he's won regionals. He's won super regionals. The only other thing would be win the SEC tournament and win the SEC. And I really want to see him get it because I think LSU's won the league 17 times. That's the most in the conference. The last time was 2017. It's been a while. But I think you could look at this, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when Jay Johnson wins the SEC. It could be the most impressive SEC championship that LSU's ever won because the league's never been deeper. With the addition of Texas and Oklahoma, for what it's worth, they're projecting 13 out of 16 teams to make the NCAA tournament in this preview as well. I mean, y'all, for a while, you were winning it with, they're projecting more teams to make the tournament than for a while were in the league. It'd be an awesome badge of honor, and it's something that I really want to see. They've been close. They were real close in 2023. I think that'd be awesome if it did come to fruition. For what it's worth, D1 Baseball also named Derek Curiel the preseason player of the year in the SEC. That's something else Jay Johnson had, player of the year. Hour 3 is next.
After further review.
Quick reminder about Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. They're the best. If you are, gentlemen, thinking about popping the question and you're thinking about where am I going to go buy that diamond, I want you to consider this. There are places that will sell you man-made lab diamonds, but what are you buying? It's according to its makeup and characteristics, sure, diamond. But is it going to hold its value? Like, is that the way you want to say, I love you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you? Go to Lee Michaels. Go to Lee Michaels. Walk in the door. Experience the thing I talk about all the time, which is the Lee Michaels experience. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry with 10 locations. Baton Rouge, 2 locations in Baton Rouge. New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, Mississippi, Texas as well. 10 locations across 3 states. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Thrill her, gentlemen. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned both on the court and off. And every step along the way, I trust Our Lady of the Lake to keep me in the game.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes because it takes a champion to care for champions.
On the court, I trust my team. For my health care, I trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email LockeMeredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Sean Ryder with a developing story from ESPN's Seth Wickersham and Brady Henderson. The Seahawks will go up for sale after Super Bowl 60. According to league and ownership sources, the team has been owned by a trust, run by a trust since Paul Allen's death in 2018. Vikings have decided to let go GM Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah after 4 years. Minnesota went 9-8 this season, missing the playoffs. Vikings owner and team president Mark Wilf on the firing of their GM.
The most important thing was getting this decision right. And like I said, we like to be methodical about all this. And we had our season-long, season-ending meetings and really took a deep dive look at not just any one thing, but over the past few years. And so we wanted to make sure we got the decision right. We talked to all the stakeholders, all the people involved in our football operations, and we really came to this decision in a methodical way. And that's the way we went about it, because this is about our long-term success.
Another NFL news, and this just in, the Steelers are hiring former Raiders defensive coordinator Patrick Graham for the same role in Mike McCarthy's staff.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Off and running, hour number 3 here on After Further Review. Musso in for Moscona. It's a Friday, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Jordan Kitchens here, Paul O'Neill here, and glad to have all of you here as well. You're just knocking off work, ending your work week, hopping in the car. We appreciate you making us part of your day as we send you into your weekend. 2 hours in the books and one more here to go, and then we are there at said weekend. It's been a great show so far, man. We have covered a wide variety of topics, from LSU football to LSU baseball, a silent change that happened in the college football playoff, a change to the New Orleans Saints coaching staff as well. If you missed any of it, of course, AFR On Demand. It's brought to you by Brett Golf, where you get your podcasts, After Further Review, or YouTube channel, AFR LSU, AFR Saints, and of course the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel as well. AFR On Demand, Brett Golf, if you missed anything from today's show. Would love for you to go back, if you're so inclined, give it a listen. All right. So we'll kick off our final hour here with a little college football. The ACC on Monday released their 2026 football schedule. You might say, why the hell do we care about that? Well, one of LSU's opponents factors into this in Clemson, but also a broader conversation in college football when it comes to scheduling and the calendar. So after the ACC released the schedule, there were no changes to anyone's. It was all how it was supposed to be laid out. But that wasn't for a lack of trying from the ACC as a league, and especially from Clemson. Clemson, last October, started the process of trying to file a waiver, or not trying to file, filing a waiver that would permit it to play a week 0 game in 2026, obviously the week before the opener against LSU. Now, I know a lot of people are going to look at that and be like, Clemson wanted to tune up. They weren't ready to play LSU last year. They wanted to tune up. They've lost 3 straight openers. They just wanted to, okay, yeah, sure. careful glass house. You were just there before you beat Clemson last year, so easy there. The reason they wanted it is a reason I actually have a hard time with. So, and I'll explain what I mean, because this factors into the broader part of this. It should be noted, the waiver was denied. They will not get one. It's also noted that LSU explored doing this as well with McNeese State, just moving McNeese State into week 0 and having a week 0 game as well. That was denied. Week 0 games are really reserved. It all centers around trips to Hawaii. And that's a key piece of information because that factors into what Clemson was trying to do here too. You have Hawaii on your schedule or like an opponent that has Hawaii on your schedule, you can schedule the week 0 game to account for the travel. Clemson was trying to pull that off, just not going to Hawaii. It's because they have to go to the West Coast this year and play Cal. This is Clemson's first trip to the West Coast for football since the ACC expanded, to have Cal and Stanford in the Atlantic Coast Conference, whatever. That's what they were looking for. The grounds of this was athlete recovery concerns related to the football's 2026 road game at Cal. And it goes a step further. So while that's what Clemson was after, the ACC as a league as a whole was after that. Because it wasn't just Clemson that filed the waiver. The conference filed a waiver on behalf of every team in the league that has to travel to either Stanford or Cal this year. What you're after is with week 0, you get a second bye week. And because of the way the calendar falls this year in 2026, you have one bye week again in college football. This is why I have an issue. Well, not an issue. This is why I have a hard time with this thought process from the ACC. Because, man, you know what? On the surface, it sounds really good. If you're going to have these coast-to-coast leagues like you do with the ACC and the Big Ten, where Rutgers in some years has to go all the way to Eugene, Oregon, or Seattle, Washington, and vice versa, and Clemson and Boston College have to go out to Stanford and Cal, and vice versa, those teams to go. That kind of makes a lot of sense, man. And these last 2 years, you've had 2 bye weeks in college football. And there's been past years where you've had it. And damn it, it's really enjoyable. It makes the season flow a lot better. Now, the way it's always been done is one bye week. Hell, you look at the NFL. The NFL plays 17 games. They have one bye week, right? Like, okay, you could survive with it. I'm just saying, watching it in succession the last 2 years, I'm a fan of the 2 byes. I think it does keep teams fresher longer throughout the season. I think it does help with injuries, and you get better football out of it. But again, I said I have a hard time for it. And the reason I have a hard time for it is very easy to decipher because, damn, the ACC, you're soft. The Big Ten didn't put in for these waivers. They fly back across the country for these games, and they're a head and shoulders better league than you are. So, like, at that point, I'm like, well, that's weak. But they weren't alone. In this piece from the State, they note that the NCAA denied 20 of these such waivers of teams trying to move into a week 0 game. And that's where you get into the broader conversation about the calendar in college football in the season starting on week 0, which has become a more and more popular sentiment. And I am 100% in favor of that. You can count me squarely, and I think I've done a segment on this before, filling in for Matt. You can count me squarely in the camp that wants football season to start earlier, week 0, and wrap up on New Year's Day. The fact that you played the national championship game on January 19th and it's going to be like 10 days later off of this season is ridiculous. You forget about it. Y'all, what was the story on January 19th this year? Do you remember? Because it wasn't the national championship game. The Bills fired Sean McDermott, and that's all that anyone wanted to talk about. Meanwhile, you had Indiana and Miami with storylines abound in that game, playing for a national championship, and it barely got any of the headlines. It barely got any of the publicity because The NFL is dominating the news cycle like they do. New Year's Day has already been so massive for college football throughout its history. You've owned that day forever. Continue to do it and end the season with your national championship game there. Where hopefully you're not head on competing with the NFL and the NFL playoffs. You might have to start the season a little bit earlier than week 0 to fully accomplish that if you want to keep the season at 12 games. I do. But the point remains. And the fact that you're seeing multiple teams like this submit these waivers, where the NCAA had to deny 20 of them, that number's only going to keep growing. Because this is the growing consensus that this is what needs to happen. And look, it gives you an extra bye week in there potentially every year now. And you do end up with fresher teams and hopefully more competitive games and all of those things. There's other factors. You'd have to figure out what to do with the conference championship games. And I'll stick my hand in the air. I'm a proponent of getting rid of them and having play-in games. Give me Vanderbilt and Texas for a play-in spot instead of the SEC championship. That's great. You want to have some automatic bids for teams that get in, and then it's team, 3 and 4 in the SEC playing for a spot in the college football playoff, or teams 4 and 5. Yeah, that's great. Same for the Big Ten. Same for you tell me we could have potentially had a BYU Notre Dame play-in game, something along those lines. Yeah, it's awesome. I think that's great. I think that would do great numbers for ratings. I think that would sell a lot of tickets at a neutral site. But I think you seeing that number of teams trying to finagle their way into week 0 shows you where this is heading. And that shows you a growing consensus. And it's only going to continue to grow. And eventually, I think you will get there, where week 0 is the opening week of college football. And you know what? It might be a terrible week of college football. It might be where you put all those SEC versus FCS games or ACC versus FCS games. So that might be what you see, and it's a week of blowouts. But who cares? We're going to watch. We watch week 0 anyway. And a lot of that is FCS on FCS action, and we tune in. You have the Ireland game, and that's like the only Power 4 game. But we tune in and we grind it, and we do the same thing. And then hopefully, you have the marquee matchups in week 1, which would then, be the second week of the season, and you get classics because everyone's had a time. I mean, man, you think back to 2019. That is the way to do it. LSU opened with Georgia Southern, and then they went to Austin, and that game was awesome between LSU and Texas. You lost nothing off the marquee because it was in week 2 instead of week 1. And you had a better product on the field. Take away the whole conversation of fixing the college football calendar and the playoff and ending on New Year's Day. You're just going to see better football if that's the case. And I guess you could, devil's advocate, be like, oh, hey, why doesn't everybody just schedule those in week 2 now, like LSU did in 2019? You know what? That's a great question. I don't have the answer to that. My answer to that would actually be, well, that's when you get into the conversation of changing the college football calendar and fixing that, because that's a bigger issue. But I think it'd be awesome, and I think if you had 20 of those waivers this year, you're just going to continue to see those, to where eventually the NCAA and the powers that be are going to end up, hopefully, I don't know when this is going to be, but hopefully moving the start of the season to week 0. And I think it would be for the betterment of college football. So, boo on you, ACC, for being soft and trying to cut corners as a league, when another league that's better than you and has won the last 3 national championships does the same thing without complaining. But also good on you for taking a stand and trying to push something forward that I think is really good for college football. Okay, we're going to grab a break, come back on the other side. I have a couple thoughts from LSU's scrimmage yesterday at the box. They're actually scrimmaging right now as well. See if I can find anything out about what's been going on at the box here this afternoon. They started at 3 o'clock, so they should be right about wrapping up. But I definitely have some thoughts on yesterday's scrimmage from just things I've been able to gather around. So I want to give you that next here on AFR.
After further review.
Brought to you by Glow Resources. If you are a business owner, if you're an HR manager, a VP, an ops manager, if you're the person in charge of hiring at your job, at your place of business, and you're having trouble finding the right people, you need Glow Resources. Now, I want to remind you, Glow Resources, they're exceptional when it comes to skilled blue-collar workers and also white-collar divisions. Remember, Glow Resources has a full professional placement division. So we're talking about office administrators, executive-level assistants, assistant controllers, plant managers, scheduling assistants, basically any type of office job. Accounting, HR, marketing, managerial, supervisor roles. If you're having trouble finding those people and sometimes hard to fill roles, Glow Resources specialize. They recruit nationwide. For example, they had a Baton Rouge company that was looking for an engineer. They found the employee in Florida to work the job in California. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online today. GLO, glowresources.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line.
Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Always a pleasure to tell you about our friends at the Williamson Eye Center. Check them out online at williamsoneye.com. They've got locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. On the Baton Rouge General Campus, I mean, you turn off a Bluebonnet onto Picardy, you make that right. And then right there at the stop sign, the building on the right, the first two floors, that's the Williamson Eye Center. State-of-the-art dry eye center, and it's full service. Of course, they have their state-of-the-art surgery center there where you can have your LASIK or whatever surgical procedure you're having. But they have your standard annual eye exam as well at the Williamson Eye Center. Learn more at williamsoneye.com. The thing I tell you every day is take the advice that I was given and change your life. To give yourself the gift of sight is absolutely incredible. If you're someone like me who spent your life with contacts or glasses, there is a way to be done with it forever. williamsoneye.com. go see Dr. Blake Williamson for that free consultation. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center.
All right, we roll along here on a Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Musso in for Moscona. A couple things left to do before we send you into your weekend. I want to shift the focus back to LSU baseball here for a second, if I could. There were some really interesting numbers that came out of LSU's scrimmage yesterday. They're actually scrimmaging currently at the box. I'll be out there Sunday. I'm really looking forward to getting back out there to watch some baseball. So Musso at the box, please get subscribed if you have not already. YouTube or podcast. We'll have a full recap of the scrimmage posted there once I'm finished watching on Sunday. But they're scrimmaging out there right now. But three guys in particular really stood out yesterday, and I have some thoughts on each. Two of them were pitchers, and there was one hitter in the lineup. We'll start with the arms. Cooper Moore has just been sensational so far in this offseason leading up to his first year at LSU. That's a guy who, in 2 seasons at Kansas, filled every single role that they needed him to. Bullpen, and then last season, it's funny when he signs in the transfer portal, you just hear Kansas ace. He was the Friday night guy. And you know what? Yeah, he was, but that doesn't tell the entire story. He didn't start the season as the Friday night guy. That guy started games last year for Kansas in the midweek, on Sunday, on Saturday, and Friday. He filled every potential role. And he was their best arm. He was awesome. And you've seen that on full display, really starting in the fall, and definitely through the first 2 outings for him in what they call the spring. I like to call it the preseason, because you've been outside lately, it damn sure ain't spring. He's thrown 8 innings, has not allowed an earned run, and has struck out 13. And the 13 strikeouts are really interesting because Cooper Moore, for his career, is a guy that has more innings pitched than strikeouts. That's not his game. His game is weak contact, ground balls, let the defense do the work, and I'll strike out 1 here, there, everywhere. Like I'm gonna go 7 innings, maybe strike out 7. Maybe on a good day, 8 Ks in the 7 innings. More than likely, 5, 6, 7. So to see the strikeout numbers be as high as they are right now for him is very encouraging. I don't know if that's sustainable over the course of a season for him. His career shows you that, no, it's not. That's just not the way he runs. He's got a great changeup. It's a low 90s fastball, but it's 4-pitch mix. And he's pitchability, right? That's the word you're going to hear with him. I think Jay Johnson probably has already used that. And while it's not surprising to see that from Cooper Moore, because he's a veteran of Power 4 baseball, and you brought him here to start. Like, that's a guy who filled every rotation spot a year ago with success, mind you. You're not bringing him in to be the setup guy. You're bringing him in to start. That was the goal. That was what he was going to do. But I'll be damned if he hasn't earned that now. Through his performance in the fall and just these 2 to start the preseason, he's earned it. And he's going to be a lot of fun to watch pitch. That's like, in a game that's so filled with velocity now and strikeout, the art of pitching is still a beautiful thing to watch. And Cooper Moore is that guy. Where he fits in the rotation, man, that's going to be really interesting to see. I know they would love to put him on Sunday because, man, what an advantage he would be for you in that spot. You might not have that luxury early in the season. We'll see. I think the rotation's still pretty fluid, maybe a little bit more fluid than some. And I also think when it comes to the starting rotation, week 1 and week 2, I don't really care because more than likely, that's not going to be your rotation at the end of the season. Like, what happened for LSU in 2025 is such an anomaly in college baseball. Where you went out there, Cade Anderson was your Friday guy week 1, and Anthony Ianson was your Saturday guy week 1, and that never wavered. That went all the way from Purdue, Fort Wayne, to Coastal Carolina, to the dog pile in Omaha. That doesn't happen in college baseball for a lot of different reasons. One, there's injuries. Like the fact that they stayed healthy the whole time's awesome. And I mean, hell, Anderson left a start, scared the hell out of everybody, right? But it was fine. Like that stuff happens in a season. Guys don't fit the role the way you thought they would, or somebody emerges and is better for the role at that moment. So I don't really care where it is early in the season. I want it settled for the SEC, at least by week 2. That's my target. Because it's going to change. That's how it goes. But I look at Cooper Moore as a potential on a Sunday when the league is more offensive and a lot of teams have burned through their pitching and it's a whole staff day. If you could have a guy like Cooper Moore run out there, it's hard to feel like that wouldn't be an advantage. It's very similar to what LSU had in 2017 with Eric Walker, right? They're different pitchers in a sense, kind of similar in some. But it's what it represents. And, he's been fantastic. And I think anyone who hasn't seen him yet, you're really going to enjoy watching him pitch for LSU this year. I do believe that. The other pitcher that really stood out yesterday was Cooper Williams. Cooper Williams, 20 innings for LSU last year, ERA a tick over 1. He really showed the ability to kind of start to extend towards the back half of the season, pitched in Omaha for LSU. Meaningful innings down the stretch of the season for Cooper Williams. He almost went 5 innings in the scrimmage on Thursday. Now, it was in a relief role. He relieved Case and Evans and kind of took him the rest of the way. But watching him go 4 2/3, by the way, he gave up. He gave up 1 hit and 1 earned run. He also struck out 8, which is something to see. Because in the same vein as Cooper Moore, he's not really a strikeout guy. He threw 20 innings last year, 21 strikeouts. The stuff isn't power stuff. It plays up a little bit. But again, it's a great changeup, a really good lefty slider, a fastball. It's going to get up to 93, maybe touch a 94 every now and then. You know who he reminds me of from like a stuff standpoint is Jared Poche. And right down to the left-handed pitcher. Poche wasn't the strikeout guy. He was pitchability, ground balls, multiple pitches, all of them for strikes from the left side. And where I could see that comp even extend is if Cooper Williams finds his way into this rotation. Which is something that Jay Johnson absolutely wants. You don't have to take my word for it. Jay Johnson has told you that multiple times. He told you that last year. Cooper Williams projects as a starting pitcher, and that's his role at some point in his time at LSU. But paraphrasing, but Jay Johnson has said that. He favors a lefty in the rotation. And I'm going to tell you right now, my quote-unquote bold prediction for this year is that Cooper Williams does end up in the rotation by season's end. And you've seen it work with a pitcher like him. It's another guy who's going to be in the zone, weak contact, play some good defense behind him. And when he's got your back on your heels, he can strike you out. And I'm here for that. The other thing is to drive these performances home that these two guys had on Thursday is the lineups are balanced. Like Cooper Moore was facing a lineup with Curiel and Brown and Simpson and Trent Caraway, and Cooper Williams faced Curiel and Milam and Zach York. They're balanced out. So they're each doing it against the best that LSU has to offer. Because they haven't combined, they'll do that later in the preseason. They'll kind of, to get everybody used to playing with each other, see how the lineups function. But they're not at that point yet. So to watch those two have those outings, that's very, very encouraging going forward. Last guy is Mason Braun. And if you don't know the name, learn it. I could not be more excited to watch Mason Braun. If you don't know who he is, Mason Braun is a freshman, about 6 foot, 213. He was the number 1 first baseman in high school baseball in the country in the class of 2025. He was the number 1 player out of the state of Indiana. His future is at first base at LSU. This year, they have him listed first base, outfield, and DH might very well be where he slides in. Mason Braun is raw power. He was at the MLB Combine this summer. He hit the longest home run out of anyone there. 430 feet. Also had 3 other homers over 400 feet. That's with a wood bat, mind you. He went yard yesterday off of Cooper Williams. Had 2 other hits off of Kason Evans. His last 2 scrimmages, not knowing what he did today yet, his last 2 scrimmages, he's 6 out of 8. And that piggybacks off of what was in a tear that he was on to close the fall. If you were to give me the lineup card right now, say, Musso, you get to fill this out for opening day. He's my opening day DH, and it's not close. And I'm really excited to watch him because I have this thing in my mind. He reminds me a lot of Jared Jones in Jones's freshman year of 2023, where Jones was on an absolute tear right up until the season, and it got to the point where you can't not have him in the lineup, and you had an injury out in the outfield, so Trey Morgan moved to left, and Jones got some starts and played first, and then he was at first and DH all throughout, and he ended up getting over 100 at-bats that year, and he hit a tick over 300 and hit 14 bombs, and it was a great entrance for him into college baseball because then he turned around as a sophomore, hit 28 homers, hit over 300 again, and played a great first base for you. And I think Mason Braun should be provided with an opportunity similar because I think he could return similar results for you. The guy's already hitting nukes off of Cooper Williams and getting knocks off of Kason Evans. It's 2 of the best that you have to offer if you're LSU. Not to say he wouldn't go through a slump, have struggles in the regular season. Of course he would. But I look at this lineup and I go, man, you don't have really that big power guy that's a known commodity, and you're not going to have that. What you're looking for is power throughout. I think he could provide that. Do I think he could go hit 13 homers as a freshman? I do. Like Jones did. Swings it from the left side, and it is violent when he connects with the ball. That's a guy I am extremely high on. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's going to be the everyday DH. I don't think he will be. You have such a plethora of guys who can go into that spot, whether it's Braden Simpson or whoever's not playing second base that day, whether it's, Tanner Reeves, maybe even Omar Cerna gets some ABs in there. We'll see. But when Mason Braun's in there, pay attention. Because I think that guy has the potential to be an absolute star by the time his season is over. Another reason I'd like to see him get that many at-bats is, for me, it'd be just an easy slide in for him at first base when Zach York leaves after this season. So keep an eye. He wears number 18. When you see him out there, pay attention because he might be the next one at LSU. What was so good was to see him continue the tear he was on at the end of fall. 6 out of 8 in his last 2 scrimmages. That's loud, folks. That's loud. All right, we're going to grab a break, come back on the other side. A couple more segments here, and we'll close out the Friday edition of AFR. Stick around.
AFR.
If you fill up Tiger Stadium 15 times, that'd be roughly 1.5 million people. That's how many realtors there are in the United States. Darren James ranked number 14 in the country when it comes to the numbers of homes sold. That's Wall Street Journal's Real Trends list. Think about what I just said. Fill up Tiger Stadium 15 times, and of all those people, Darren James ranked number 14. You need to get to a closing table. You need to sell your home fast for the most amount of money. You need the absolute best customer service experience with constant communication and results. Well, you need Darren James. So, call Darren. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666. That's Darren Sell. Or go to agent225.com, agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at fabrychevrolet.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable. And
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Tell you every day do business with someone you know. That's me and Terrio and Richard Tilley and Joe Morales and Trent Davis and our whole staff. We appreciate everyone so much who's giving us the opportunity. Our commercial roofing manager, Matt Pearson, sent us all a text that we were just awarded a large commercial roofing job today, and they heard us talking about it. And yes, of course, at your home, any roof repair, replacement, we love to help you out. We can install gutters for you. We do soft wash, do all of it. But I want to remind you that we are a commercial roofing company as well. So if your commercial building needs a new roof or repair, you have any issues whatsoever, we have the best guy. We went and scoured the world and found Matt Pearson in Florida, and we brought him to Baton Rouge. I'm convinced there's not a soul alive that knows more about commercial roofing than Matt Pearson. So if your commercial building is having any roof issues, roof repair, replacement, or you just need options, trust me, have a conversation with Matt Pearson. We'd love to help you out. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com.
Jordan, earlier in the show, you and I were joking around, talking about Saints draft with players who are probably just already salivating over because they're at the Senior Bowl or they went to Ohio State or a small school or whatnot.
Yep.
I have something here that the Saints actually, their front office might have the bib on and be salivating about.
Okay.
Tom Pelissero had this report about 3 hours ago that the NFL has informed teams here on Friday of the projected 2026 salary cap.
Okay.
The salary cap is projected to range from $301.2 million to $305.7 million. If you're curious, last year's salary cap was $279.2.
Oh, that's a huge increase.
It's a huge increase.
Yes.
And the Saints, who last season, right? I mean, they
spent a
little, but they Derek Carr retired. That saved them a bunch. They traded away some
we was clearance rack shopping though.
Played a lot of
clearance
rack. Played a lot of rookies trying to finally get back within cap compliance. If you look at this, 301 to 305 million, that would put the Saints somewhere in the neighborhood, depending on where the final number lands, $15 million over the cap.
Wow.
Which is child's play to that organization.
Yeah. Over the cap and the Saints don't even go together.
No. I mean, they have to look at that and be like, we used to get out of like 6 figures worth of debt and have money to spend. You mean 15 million's all we got to clear to have, like,
yeah, man.
They probably got this projection today, already worked it out. Just somewhere in a hallway at the Senior Bowl, just already working it out. They already have money to spend. Like that's probably what happened today when the Saints saw this. They have to be in heaven. Like that's child's play concerning what this organization has worked their way out of mathematically before.
Oh no, we've seen them come from the depths of hell basically to make ends meet, and it just goes to show you what having a quarterback on a rookie deal does for a football team. Literally.
I mean that's like it could not have gone any better for the New Orleans Saints at that position in the last 365 days.
Oh, without a doubt.
Where Derek Carr retires, you get a buttload of savings off of that, and Derek Carr's no longer your quarterback.
Still get goosebumps from that day. Still get goosebumps.
And then you appear to have hit on Tyler Shuck.
Yeah.
At least you know going forward, he's the guy you're going to do. And now you just have capital, and you have, what, how many, is it 9 picks again this year?
It's a lot.
Or is it 8? It might be 8.
Did they do the composition picks or whatever?
They're getting the comp pick. I don't know if they've officially handed it out, but they are projected to get one, I think, in the 5th round.
No, I think it's 4th. I think it's 4th.
Round?
Yeah, it's another 4th round
Let's
pick.
see. Hold on. I'm going to do this live on air.
I'll be good. We'll fill it in.
Saints draft picks 2026. Well, I know they have the number 8 pick. I want to know how many. Here we go.
Yeah, what we looking at?
Yeah, it's got to load,
Of course.
Internet, all that stuff.
It's the last hour before a weekend. You already know what time it is.
Well, that didn't give it to me either. It's just, nope. Hold on. Yeah, so we're going to look this up. It's 8 or 9 that they have again this year. They had 9 last year, and they made all of them, which I think floored everyone.
Yeah.
But again, that was a signal of them wanting to get younger, less expensive.
It showed that Mickey Loomis, I hate to say it, but he's learning from his wrongs. He's learning that you don't always have to trade up. You don't always have to give up to move up.
Is he, though?
We'll see this year.
Hold on. I say that, is he, or is this influence from the new staff? Jeff Ireland, when he met with the media at the Senior Bowl on, that was Wednesday now. It was actually during the show when he met with the reporters. They asked him about the staff's input, and he talked about they know exactly what they want.
Yeah.
And we gave them a template, and they filled it out as detailed as it could be of we want this, and this in a player. This is, and they went out and tried to get those players. That's what I'm like, was that a thing where it's like, the new staff, and again, I'm speculating here, right? I don't know.
We're not in the rooms.
But, somewhere Kellen Moore and his staff are probably like, hey, man, we're trying to make this our own. Really trying to build this up.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Can we make all 9 picks?
Yeah.
That's my only other theory. Other than that, they locked Mickey Loomis in a closet without a phone and didn't allow him to trade up. It's 6 to 7 is what it looks like for the Saints.
Interesting.
Here in it has to end up with the compensatory. But I could have sworn I saw the report that they did get the comp pick. 8 possible. No. 6 to 7. Okay, there it is. 6 to 7. But that's still a really good number.
Lot.
And you know what? You need to make all of them.
You do.
You need to make all of them again. Because the salary cap's only going to go up. It's only going to keep going up. How about this? 2013. You want to take a guess what the salary cap was in 2013 in the NFL?
Well, if it's $300 million now, over $300 million now, I'm assuming maybe barely $200 million at the time.
Lower.
What? Oh, under $200 million?
Well under $200 million.
Well under $200 million. 175?
Nope.
Lower than that?
Well lower than that.
Dude, okay. 145?
You're almost there.
150?
Wrong way.
Oh, wrong. Lower than 145.
Lower.
140? 143.
Gotta keep going lower.
Dude, okay. 135.
Almost there, lower.
No, 130.
123.
123.
$123 million was the NFL salary cap 10 years ago.
And we're at $300 million plus.
10 years ago in 2016, it was 155.27.
What?
I mean, you're looking at the increases from that. from 123 in 4 seasons, from 123 to 155. You just went from 279 to potentially 305 at the high end of the scale.
Yo.
They doing all right in the NFL, guys. The product's real good, and they're making a lot of money. And it's only going to keep going up.
Yeah.
So while that helps the Saints, I mean, obviously, look, all 32 teams get to play by those rules.
Yeah, they got a piece of the pie.
Right. But that's exciting to see the salary cap increasing at the level that it is with your team getting younger. Like that is exciting. There's just, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl next year because I don't think that they are. Do I think they could win the division?
Yeah.
I do. I think they could. Not ready to say that they will, but I think they could, which means you're in the playoffs, which you haven't been there in 5 seasons. There's just a lot of reasons of optimism right now. And maybe it feels that way because there hadn't been a lot of optimism for about, 4 seasons. But the salary cap news today, because, Saints are going to have plenty.
Oh, without
They're
a
going to have
doubt.
plenty.
Honestly, when you say like the optimism part, it feels like not a fake optimism. It just feels like this is a real genuine optimism because you hit on a position where the quarterback, we all know that's the brain of the body. Like, you can't walk without the quarterback. You hit on that. Well, it looks like you hit on that. We'll see what he looks like this season. But it looks like you hit on that. Now you're in a position where all you got to do is fill in holes. Fill in holes.
And that's the challenge that faces them now, right?
It's a challenge.
I'm draft and free agency are going to be huge just because if they hit again, I think you can look at this more as a collaborative effort. If they hit again.
All parties involved. Yeah.
Where I think the staff does have a pretty heavy hand in what they're getting in free agency, what they're getting in the draft. And look, let's be honest. At the height of this franchise when Sean Payton was here, that's what was happening. I think we all kind of saw that collectively with those first few drafts after Sean Payton left, how much input he really had. And when you look at what he's already been able to build in Denver through free agency and draft, he had a lot of input in that, and it worked. I'm not saying Kellen Moore and his staff are to that level, but listening to Jeff Ireland, I do think their input was heavy, and they gave great directives. And credit to Saints front office, they looked like they went out and found the guys they wanted, and a lot of them played really, really well this year. So,
we all knew that Shuck was Kellen's guy, so that's kind of like the first domino right there. Was that?
Yeah. And they're going to go get receivers. The conversation is like, remember the conversation at draft last year? How is it an emphasis to get Kellen Moore his quarterback in this draft? And they would, it's an emphasis to get every player. And they're doing the same thing with
smacking the gum.
They're doing smacking the gum, doing the same thing with the receiver right now. They're going to go get him a lot of weapons in this draft class. And
Cornell Tate, come on down.
And then Cornell Tate, Ohio State. And then you're hired. And then hopefully at a cornerback as well, man. If it's not receiver at 8, I would love to see them draft a DB, and I would love for that DB to be Mansour Delane. But
I've been seeing so many Cowboys fans with him in little swaps. I feel like they would literally disintegrate if the Cowboys cannot get Mansour Delane. They want him so bad at 12.
He's going to be really good wherever he goes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's going to be
He's going to look clean in the Cowboys uniforms, though. I'm not a Cowboys
guy.
Well,
which ones, though? Because some of the Cowboys uniforms aren't actually good.
The all white. The white, like the basic white is, that's clean.
I like the navy blue.
The navy blue is...
I think it's their best uniform.
Thank you, Moose. The navy blue goes because they barely wear it.
I think it's their best uniform. Anyway, I hope they lose every game they play. We're going to grab a break. Come back on the other side. We'll close out Friday. We'll close out the week here on AFR. Ask us if you want to get some questions in. You can tweet them to me at Musso Matthew, Bayou 40 YouTube chat, however you want to do it. Jordan, Paul, me, asks anything. We can answer that, and we'll just close out the hour with something fun here on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-001-752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. I love sharing 5-star Google reviews. Here's one from Ricky Gomez, who said Chris, his technician, was very professional and knowledgeable during the HVAC evaluation. He provided details and recommendations in a clear and concise manner. That's one of the things that always stands out. If you're having an issue with your AC or your heater, and River City's 1 Hour Air sends out a technician for an evaluation, they're going to explain your options to you. And that may sound simple, but like none of it, like I don't know anything about an HVAC, neither do you. Let's be honest. So whenever they go get up in your attic or they go look at your HVAC unit on the side of your house and they come talk to you, like they're going to explain very clearly what's happening and your options to remedy it. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. 752-0001.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
We're brought to you by Supper Club. You book your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. One of the things about Supper Club that I love is if you want to go to Supper Club and be a baller, you can do it. You want to go to Supper Club and order a $5,000 bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, you can do it. You want to go have $400 shots of cognac, you can do it. You can have experiences at Supper Club that usually are reserved for Las Vegas and New York and Paris and Abu Dhabi. Like, that's here in Baton Rouge. But the thing you got to remember as well, if you want to go to Supper Club and have the best steak of your life and have a few appetizers, a dessert, bottle of wine, you can do it as affordably as any other restaurant in town. But the experience at Supper Club is unmatched. Introduced open seating at the bar, first come, first serve. So if you knock off of work, you want to head by Supper Club, you can walk in without a reservation, see if you can grab a bar stool or a table by the bar as well. Have a great dinner, maybe cocktail, close some business. Book your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com.
We'll close out here, hour number one. We'll pass this along. When Otter was with us yesterday, he did throw out a play for tonight. That's Michigan State. It's the rivalry game, Michigan State. DraftKings, top 10 matchup there. And DraftKings does have a 30% boost on that. And folks, it's been a good week. I mean, there's a sweep last night between Otter and Colucci. It's been a pretty profitable week here, OtterLocks AFR. So we're not jinxing anything. Just passing along that it's been a nice week. And Otter has one play for you tonight that he gave out yesterday, Michigan State. When I jumped on it earlier, it was 2.5 plus 1.5. Michigan State plus 1.5. Not quite sure what it is right now, but I mean, Jordan.
He's hot.
Colucci last night.
Oh, he's hot.
Dude.
Nah, he went 3-0.
The last few weeks with Colucci have been real good.
Nah,
I mean, he gave the wild last night. It was a pretty heavy price, so I split it between the puck line and the money line. Cashed both. I mean, just.
Listen, man, it's not Colucci time until Colucci comes on there and give us some nice picks on the ice. He does this. I'll give him that. He does this.
He does this.
He does.
The Stars tried to ruin it last night. They blew a 3-goal lead in the third period and then won it in overtime. So it doesn't matter. But they had a 3-goal lead.
Got to sweat it out, baby.
And tried to lose, but they didn't. And that was the plus money one last night from Colucci. Michigan State tonight. All right, that's gonna wrap it up. We'll be back here on Monday with Matt on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Evermore. Drink Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. For elite athletes, for someone who just wants a healthier lifestyle. Maybe you're a parent, you want a healthier option for your children. Evermore is a great option. I would highly encourage you, bottom line, if you're drinking tap water, don't. Bare minimum, filter your tap water. But the best option is Evermore. This is natural artesian water. It's underground aquifers on the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, right there in Covington. They dug a well into that aquifer, and I mean, it's literally thousands of years in the making. That's why they call it Mother Nature's masterpiece. That's what they're pulling out of the ground. The only filtration is take like the sediment from the ground out of the water, and it goes right into the bottle. So it never touches air until you uncap it, take that first delicious sip. Learn more, where you can buy it, great retailers or online, EVAMOR, evermore.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit LouisianaPropane.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.